Hello everyone, I'm back with another video, and in today's video we have an ASUS ROG Zephyrus or Zephyrus GA401Q model, which is a G14 model. And those information can be found on the bottom sticker. This is a G14, also known as a G14, but the exact model is a GA401Q. And in this video, I'm gonna go over how you can open it up and how you can clean up the fan system and repaste it, and what are the best choices that you can have regarding the repaste. You should do your own service once a year at least, or year and a half, depending how many hours you use. If you're using 3 to 4 hours daily, then you want to do it every year. Again, the condition of the environment where you are, if there's dusty or not, then that affects it too. By doing a repaste cleaning, you're not going to change anything in the system, any configuration, anything like that. It's just something physical to get more performance. It won't get overheating, it will last longer, and you get a little better FPS because it's not going to overheat. I'm going to go over the tools that I'll be using. Tool number one, and very important one, is a workshop towel. These workshop towels are really good for doing services because they are different from microfiber towels, because as soon as you put alcohol on this one, which is another one that you're going to be used, isopropylic 98% plus, you put alcohol and you want to clean over the component, it will rip apart and it will not damage the component. Unlike those microfiber towels that you use, it can get tangled around the capacitors and you can rip them apart. So one sheet of the workshop towel, alcohol 99 or 98% plus isopropylic, a good screwdriver set. I recommend you guys grab the UFIXTEK screwdriver set. If you get the pro set, they will include you with an opening tools and some tweezers. If not, get the basic set. These are made out of S2 class steel. For the opening tool, I'll be using a guitar pick. And metallic guitar picks are really suitable to opening cases and covers. Plastic rod or wooden spatula, and you need a toothbrush, used or new toothbrush. Let me have a clean one right over here. And also after this one, you need a good thermal paste. A really good thermal paste I recommend you is one of the best is a Thermal Grizzly Extreme. These are one of the best thermal paste out there. So one of these. Based on that, I haven't missed anything. Let's get it started. All right. So first thing first, you want to power off the laptop completely. I'm going to put one sheet of the workshop towel on the table so I don't scratch. They have a really nice finish. And on the bottom here, you're going to see a whole bunch of screws. There are two sides of screws and one screw that will not come out that has a little C-lock, and I'll explain that in a second. So you're going to grab yourself the screwdriver, and we're going to grab a Phillips number 0. And we're going to remove first the short screws, which are the front end of the laptop. If you face it upside down and the front is facing you, you want to remove from the left, the front left, this one, 3 screws on the front left. Leave the right one alone, don't touch it. So go ahead and remove the 3 screws on the front from the left to the right, 3 of them only, and keep them in a one pile because these are the short screws. And leave this one for the end. Now we're going to remove the rest of the screws, the 4 in the middle, the sides, and 4 at the top side. So go ahead and remove the rest and keep them in a different piles, and these are the same size and height, so don't worry about mismatching this. Also, if you guys like my videos, if you find my videos helpful and helping you guys out to do your own servicing, repasting, upgrades, you can support the channel by clicking that like and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. It helps and motivates me to make more videos, take requests, and answer your questions in the comment areas. Appreciate that. Alright, once we removed all the screws here, except this one in the corner, and I'm going to explain why. This screw has a little C-lock in here, so that means the screw will not come out entirely because the lock on the side will prevent it from coming out. But also it helps you to push the cover away from the palm rest. So as soon as I start rotating this one, you're going to see a gap opening right in there. And it's going to make a tiny click, and that's when you want to stop it. So do a few hundred round turns, and that's it. Now you got this gap opening, so simply what you want to do, you want to put the opening tool or the guitar pick in between the cover here, and you just want to twist it upward, and you want to hear tiny clicks. That's what you want to hear. You want to do the front end. Once you've done that, put it down, grab it from front, wiggle it around a little bit like this, and it will smoothly come out. Now, this is the bottom cover. You can take it outside, use a toothbrush, clean the vent system here. There is no dust mesh. I don't know why. So go ahead and clean it and use a compressor. I'll leave the link for a good compressor. Don't use those canned ones. They finish really quick and they throw humidity. Use that dry compressed air compressor, pretty much. All right, we're going to clean that one in a second. And down here, we can see the motherboard and the fan system, and you can see the fans. On the fans, they are already clogged up after 1 year of use. So these are really clogged up fans. So look at it. And you can see there's full of dust in there, here, everywhere. Now that we got down here, first thing first, we're gonna disconnect the battery. To disconnect the battery, you wanna see this lock over here. You wanna push this metal cover here. Let me put it in an angle so it doesn't reflect. Right there. So you wanna push this metal cover, it's still reflecting, towards the right side, just like that. About very little bit, just as long as it's clear the white cover. And then there's this flip thing to pull up the jack. You can use this one to just pull up the jack, and it comes up like that easily. Okay, you can bend this one backward, leave it like that. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove a tape over here. You can use a gaffer's tape in here. You wanna lift this one here. So there's a cables for the Wi-Fi that goes around this tape. So there we go. There we have the Wi-Fi. I don't want to disconnect the Wi-Fi connectors. I'm just going to leave it like that. Now in here, on this side, we have the flex cable for the screen. So we're going to remove this tape right over here. And we're going to lift up the jack upward and bring it, untangle it, and leave it to that side right there. Okay? And right away that you can see there's a warranty label here. You don't void any warranty if you poke through this. That's why you're supposed to do your own services. I'm going to grab a tweezers and I'm going to gently, I'm going to just peel off this warranty. You can poke through this label, so we can just leave it there. Let's go ahead and remove 2 screws for the fan on this side and 2 screws for the fan on the left side. So remove the screws for the fan. 2 right there. And 2 screws on this side. Okay. Now 4 screws on the CPU and 4 screws on the GPU. Now that we remove the screws right in here, now make sure that there's no more screws in here. We're gonna lift up, just to break the seal, lift up the heatsink a little bit gently. It is dried up right in there. Doesn't want to budge in. There we go. There we go. I lift it up gently, bring it up. That side and a little bit of from here. There we go. Now we can, once I see that it's loosed up, you're gonna grab a tweezers and we're gonna disconnect the fans. This fan is right in here. I don't want like pulling on the cables. So what I do, I put the tweezers beside the fan jack and just slide them backward, just like that. And it gets disconnected right in here. You can see it. You can put your fingernails, but I can't fit them in there. So what I do, I put this one right in the jack and then I pull it back. Now I'm gonna grab this heatsink, gently bring it up, and there we have it. There's a liquid metal on the CPU and thermal paste on a GPU. So, and you can see there's a dry part right in here on the liquid metal. that it is dried up right in the middle. So we just want to spread that liquid metal that is in there back in the middle. You don't have to clean this one, you just want to spread it back right over here. But in this one, on the GPU, we are gonna repaste. Also for the RAM chips, you want to grab a thermal putty. You can put a new thermal putty, or if yours is still really nice and soft, you can reuse and re-bring that one in the middle. So all depends. The client only wanted to put the thermal paste, so I'm just gonna grab all this and we can just reapply them on that. You only need a little bit, you don't need a lot of them, so just gonna clean it from here. It's still good, so I'm gonna keep them in there and we're gonna reuse everything. So now, before we do anything, I'm gonna take this one outside and I'm gonna clean up the fan system with a toothbrush and blow some air through fans and clean it up, and I'll be back. Also, I'm gonna just blow some air through here and clean this part here. There's lots of dust right in here. So clean up everything and we come back and we're just gonna clean up the thermal paste. Before I take this one outside, I just want to show you guys how you can get to the fan system well. So you can remove this tape right over here, and then you can push the fan outward from here, and you can clean it, bring it like that, and you can see this big huge dust particles right in here. You can clean those ones out too. In here, same thing. Remove the gaffer's tape, you can put the gaffer's tapes again back on. And then there you go. You can see all this dust build up. So we're gonna clean up all this. Alright, now that I took it outside and I cleaned it up, the fans are really nice and clean. So I'm gonna bring that one back on. This one again, back on. Bring it right over. Put it in place. You don't need to tape anything right over here. And this side is fine. Again, you don't need to tape it on or anything like that, so don't worry about these ones. Don't use an electric tape, use a gaffer's tape if you want to keep tape over. There's an airflow, there's no need for airflow here. Everything is perfectly sealed. So there we have it. So once we clean the fan system with a toothbrush and blow some air through it, now what we're gonna do first, we're gonna remove the thermal paste on the GPU. So we're gonna grab a little bit of worktop towel and we are gonna apply the alcohol right on top, and we're gonna wipe over the GPU die. You don't need to go ahead and clean up the surrounding the GPU. As long as you clean the CPU die, the GPU die, you're more than fine. You don't have to do anything else around it. Okay? Once we clean that one up, we're gonna wipe and clean the thermal paste on the heatsink. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna reapply this thermal putty on the components here, wherever we need a little bit. A little bit that you put in the middle is gonna spread nicely all around it, so you don't have to go crazy spreading it. Just put a little bit on top and that should cover it up. Okay. Now I need to, but again, if you want it, you can purchase your thermal putty. Let me see if I have any left over here. I should have some. Yeah, I have some here. So I'm gonna grab a little thermal putty over here. I'm gonna apply right on top. You can mix them, thermal putties are fine. Alright, now that we have those ones, the thermal putty in there, now we're gonna spread the thermal paste. So let me go ahead and see where else I can put this one. I'll just wipe it there. Okay. You're gonna grab our thermal paste. We're gonna apply small amount on the GPU die, and we're gonna spread it around it, or just leave one piece size in the middle. It's not conductive, so don't worry about putting it that it spreads somewhere around it. Now that we got that out of the way, you're gonna grab a cotton tip from here, and we're just gonna wipe over the GPU. There's enough liquid metal here to just reuse it and clean up. Let's see. Once you do just a soft tip swiping over, and it will bring the liquid metal back on the CPU, on the GPU, CPU I mean. It was spreading around, so there we go. And on the in here you can do the same thing. Just wipe like this. You don't need to apply again liquid metal. Liquid metal in here is fine. You just want to move it around like this, and it becomes very nice like that. If you guys can see it. Now it's all mixed up inside. In here, it is very reflective, so you guys can see. This portion here, it was spilled. That's fine, leave it, don't touch it. There's a Kapton tape to protect it. So all you just want to wipe over like this, and that's it. Pretty much you can see, it's nice and bubbly. And once you put the heatsink over, it's just gonna push everything aside. Alright, now that we have that one in place and we cleaned up everything, we are gonna bring the fan system down. Keep these cables tucked over. Once you bring it down, do not lift it up again. Leave it there. It's very, very important. Do not lift it up again. Okay. Leave it. And we're gonna cross screw all the screws for the CPU first. So do one in the corner and the one right on the opposite side. You want to do it in an X shape. Cross screw them. Do two in there and then the cross screw on the GPU. Put the two screws for each fan, two on the right and two on the left. Alright, once you put that one in, we're gonna tangle back down the Wi-Fi cable through here. You can put a gaffer's tape or just leave it there, it's not gonna go anywhere. Same thing here for the LCD cable right in here. You wanna bring it over the jack. This tape over here to pull it up, usually always they stop breaking, it's just a tape. So you can just don't worry about it. You can lift up the jack with your fingernail from one side upward, and when you push it back down, align it and push it evenly on top, and that's it. All right. Once we have all this set, and pretty much we are done down here. There's a RAM, there's nothing. Double check, make sure everything is in place. The cables are running around nicely. All you want to do, you want to bring the connector, make sure the jack is open all the way to the back. Bring it, align it straight over, and push it down and lock it over. There we have it. Then you want to just grab the bottom cover, put it right on top, squeeze the corners on the back, but don't squeeze this side. And make sure you do those nice click sounds. And last thing down here is to put this screw, tighten it up, and it's gonna pull the cover to itself. And the last thing down here is to put the long screws all over the place and the short one in the front of the laptop. Again, I hope you guys like this video and helped you guys out. If you have any question or requests, feel free to leave them in the video comment. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. Again, one more main thing I always forget when I do this video, when I try to focus. Always connect the fans, because I forgot to connect the fan. I just remembered. It is very important to connect the fan once you put the screws for the heatsink. So let's grab this one here. It's right over here. And this one is right there. So just slide the fan connector inside the jack, right there. And this one too, just slide them inside. There we have it. And there we have it. It is important that you put the fan connectors. Again, put this one on and tighten up the screws. And that's it. I'm just gonna power it on so you guys can see that it turns on. For those people that are paranoid, that they're like, oh, why don't you turn it on? Right, so I'll put the screws after the video. I'm just gonna power it on. It is dusty, so you might wanna grab a screen cleaner and clean up the screen. And then power on the laptop. I see the light is on and I got the logo and all set to go. And it's loading the OS. And that's it for today's video.